Yay!
I guess I'll start with a very quick introduction. So, hello to everybody who's watching. Welcome to today's Coffee with Curators. As you can see, we have a very special guest because Karina will be joining us today. So, to begin, my name is Teresa, and I'm one of the members of OwlCrate's curation team. You might have seen me do, a bunch of stuff around the nest, and I do Owl Babbles with our OwlCrate authors. So today we will be doing a couple things. First of all, we will be unboxing our the Raven Boys 10th anniversary box, which is really exciting. I have mine over here. And we will also be answering some fan questions. Yep.
I'm Mia Tasman. I am one of the other curators on the OwlCrate team, and I'm really excited to join for this live. Again, this live will be available for replay. All lives are available for replay in the lives tab. I wanted to mention that we have a bunch of social media accounts that you should keep up with because we have a lot of new announcements that are coming up and a lot of new things that are coming up that you really want to be aware of, like a lot of fun things. Keep up with the newsletter, sign up for that if you haven't. And today we're also going to be giving away 5 Raven Boys boxes. So stay tuned to see if you can be a lucky winner. And our special guest, Karina, why don't you introduce yourself? I think everyone knows you by now, but I think it's good to introduce yourself. Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I'm Karina. I am the founder and CEO of OwlCrate, and I also help with the curation team, and I'm really excited to be here. The Raven Boys box in particular was a huge passion project for me, so I'm excited to talk more about what went into that with Teresa and Mia Tasman.
Yeah. So let's start off unboxing. Karina, why don't you start us off with the first item that we have in the box?
So I actually don't have the box with me. So Teresa and Mia Tasman, you guys will have to show the goodies, but then I will definitely share some stuff about how they were brought to life. Yes. So this is our loose leaf tea. Made by Riddle's Tea Shop, who we love, wonderful small business. Yeah, even like so much went into creating this item. Tasman, do you want to read out the flavors, like the ingredients first?
Yeah, so the ingredients say that it has decaf Ceylon tea or Ceylon tea, rooibos tea, natural vanilla flavor, spearmint, and natural caramel flavor.
Yeah, so it's a really unique blend of kind of like a caramel vanilla with mint, and the mint is directly inspired by Gansey. And I guess maybe I should start by saying that if you haven't read the Raven Boys at all, there might be some, not really spoilers, but like we're going to be talking about little details that were taken from the books in how we made these items. So if you don't want to do that, like you don't want to hear that, maybe pause the live, go binge read the Raven Boys, and then watch it in the replay. Yeah, and the label design, we actually went through, I don't know, maybe like 20 different variations of this label before we, confirmed it. But I think the one we ended up with is absolutely perfect. And I'm just so appreciative of Julie and Joe, who own Riddle's Tea Shop, because they were so open to collaborating with us on this. The label has like a bunch of little cool Easter eggs to it. So it is designed to look like a souvenir that you could get from 300 Foxway, which is like Blue. That's where Blue and her family live, and they are psychics and they offer psychic services. And so the label has like a list of the different services they offer. And then there's also some references to St. Mark's Eve, which is a very important thing in the book. And then the tarot cards themselves on the label represent Blue and Gansey. So yeah, there was a lot of thought put into this, and I think it ended up amazing. And it's all in a really cute tin. So once you finish your tea, you can keep the tin as like a display item or storage item, which I absolutely love. Yay!
Tea is really good for iced tea because the mint comes out so nicely if you're drinking it cold. So that's what I've been doing with it. I've like finished like half of the tin already.
Tally says that the tea sounds really yummy, so that's awesome. It does sound really yummy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is also decaf and dairy free. So we often try to make teas that the majority of people could enjoy. So even if you don't drink caffeine, you can have this one. And also nut free.
And nut free.
Yeah.
Our next item that we have is the keychain, the enamel keychain. So let's show that right there. Yes, it comes in a really cute envelope. And this was designed by No One Designs, who's also designing our monthly pins right now. So it's really fun to work with her.
Yeah, she's so talented. This keychain's really cool because it also has like a spinning feature of the crystal ball in the middle, which I love. So like I kind of use it a bit like a fidget spinner in a way. Yeah. And again, this is kind of designed as well to look like another souvenir from 300 Foxway. So it has a few different nods to them and their family. And then it also has some really cute charms to represent blue. So we have a mirror and the Page of Cups tarot card. And if you have read the book, you know why those are significant in reference of Blue, our leading lady. But I love how this came out. I love the ley line on the crystal ball. And No One Designs just did such a good job. And it's cool that like we got to do a double-sided enamel as well.
Yeah.
I love how shiny the mirror is because you can actually, there's like a reflective bit.
Yeah.
So, it's really nice.
Oh, hello, Teresa.
Yeah. Oh, there's Teresa. Love it. That's amazing.
It's so cute.
Mm-hmm. So I will be showing this souvenir and ceramic travel mug, which is still in its box because I actually have not touched this box since getting it. So I was kind of hoping to wait until
live.
Yeah, to unbox it
live unboxing. That's what it's for.
Mm-hmm. So here it is. So this was designed by Paperback Bones by Tess. And so the forest background actually matches the forest background on the book. So I'm going to try and pull the sleeve off to show it.
On our special edition book.
Yeah.
Which we will show you soon.
Yep. And so this is like very in universe. So this is a faux logo design, inspired by Capeswater and Ronin. And we went through so much sampling for this item to get the colors right because we wanted like a very specific color scheme, and for a bit it was not the way we wanted it to be, so we went back and forth. We even had a black and white version, which was also pretty lovely. I actually really liked the black and white version, but ultimately we decided to go with the blues because it works really well with the book, our special edition. And we're so in love with the final product. Michelle Gray designed the beautiful box for this box, and it has the same imagery, and this mug is dishwasher and microwave safe except for the silicone sleeve and lid, so you might want to take that off if you won't pop it into the dishwasher and stuff. So yeah,
I love this mug. I feel like Tess did just such a good job with like cheeky little Easter eggs and nods to Ronin in the design of the logo.
It says, "Where all your dreams come true" up top, and then below, Grey Warren Forestry Commission. So
yes. It was worth the extra samples. I think it came out really lovely.
For sure.
Yeah.
And it has the Alcrate logo at the bottom, which is really cute. It's like a little surprise.
Awesome. Next, we have one of the bigger items.
Yes, I'm so obsessed with these totes. So it's funny because we didn't plan for this to happen, but we designed one of these tote bags for this Raven Cycle box. And we loved the style so much that we were like, we have to do one of these in a monthly box too. And we did that for January. And those boxes were not supposed to ship in the same month, but things happened. And the Raven Boys box got pushed a little bit. So I know that there were some people like, hey, how come there's double? But we just love this style so much. So it is a very thick, sturdy canvas tote. It has a crest for Eglinby Academy. And this was also designed by Paperback Bones. And it's just beautiful. And it has 2 handles. So it has like a really long handle that you can wear crossbody, and then a shorter handle if you want to hold it that way. And you can detach the long handle as well. It's up to you. And then on the inside, there's also a very large inner pocket. And we purposely designed that to be big enough to hold like a small hardback book if you wanted to, because we were like, this bag is for like the school, and I'm sure the kids would be taking their textbooks and stuff. So it's a really sturdy bag. And yeah, I love the design. It's designed to look like the school crest, obviously with the raven. And yeah, I'm a big fan. Big fan.
Having the inner pocket is also so useful if you're like using these bags to go book shopping, because you know how sometimes you buy books and you're like, I don't want to drop it in my bag because I have like a gazillion other things in there and I don't want to get like the cover scratched up. So you just slip it into like the little pocket.
Yeah, it's almost like an inner book sleeve sort of, just to give a bit more protection.
Yeah, I definitely started using the one that we got in the January box because these bags are just so useful. And like I've been waiting to start using this one too.
Yeah, I love it.
Speaking of the book pocket, another thing you can fit in that book pocket is the journal, Gansey's journal.
One of my favorite items for sure.
So yeah, this journal was designed by Paperback Bones. I think I held it upside down. It was designed by Paperback Bones. It features a ley line symbol on the cover, the iconic symbol. The back cover has this really cute, if found, please return to Richard Campbell Gansey III, 1136 Monmouth Manufacturing, Henrietta, Virginia. So that's like a really cute little Easter egg hint there.
We wanted to make this item like very Gansey centric, obviously, because his journal is so iconic in the story.
Mm-hmm. The pages are designed as well. I think you could take out the pages as well because it's a binder system and it has the lee lines in the bottom as well. And the charm that you can tie the book together with has designed this as Excelsior.
Yeah, so we designed that to look like a compass, because Gansey's obviously off exploring for Glendower, and Excelsior is a main phrase of his. So I love that we got to like customize this item so much. Like every element is custom designed, and I just think it looks so cool. And yeah, like you can reuse it. You don't, once you run out of the paper, you can refill it, which is really neat too. And it's made of like faux leather, which is cool as well.
It's really good quality.
I love how universe it is. I love how in universe it is with the stamp too.
Yeah, and that came out really well because it's like embossed and foil, which is really cool. Oh, yes, this is one of my favorite items in the box, I think. Not that I'm playing favorites because I love them all, but
the next item we have on our list is the Lynch & Sons candle, which I have over here. So this was made by Lichen and Limestone, and Gretchen is always very fantastic with candles. It smells heavenly, and it's designed to look like a souvenir you'd get at the Barnes, with lots of references to Ronin and dreaming. And so on one side, it says acres of slumbering dream creatures over here. And then on the other side, it says craftsmen of your wildest dreams on this side. Yeah, I love the scent.
Yeah, I love how like kind of like spooky and gothy it looks as well, with like the raven skulls at the top. It's funny because like I want to give more away, but just in case people are watching who've not read the book, I won't say too much. But if you've read, you know, the Barns is such a cool location, and Ronan is obviously a really important and unique character. So it was fun to design this candle kind of inspired by him and his family. And it also is a woodwick candle, which are my favorite food.
I haven't burned mine yet. I love woodwicks because they make that crackling sound, and they just feel very
Add to the cozy vibe. Yeah.
Just a little bit extra magical, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. So next we have the wooden bookmark.
Yeah, this is a really fun item. You know, considering it's one of the smaller goodies, I love this. So we worked with an artist. Their Instagram is LL Starcaster LL, and she is a huge Raven Cycle fan. So I sought her out to work with us on this, and it's a wooden bookmark, and one side features a very beloved quote from the book, and the other side features a bunch of like objects from book one. And it's cool because she's such a big fan of the story. She actually put out like, she didn't tell her followers what she was doing, but she like put out a question box and was like, what do you think are the most iconic objects from the Raven Boys? And her fans kind of like submitted things, and then she, you know, picked her favorites. And I just think it's amazing. Amazing. Yes, it printed out so well too.
Yeah. The star really works well with the wood color in the back, and it looks very like rustically elegant, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And again, it's just like everything that we designed, we really tried to make it for fans. So once you've read the book, you will recognize all of these symbols and objects and stuff. And I think it just, it kind of just like feels more valuable and more meaningful if you've read the story, obviously. But I love it, and it was an absolute pleasure working with her. Yeah.
And then, so next we have the Travel Prince set, which is at the bottom of my box. I gotta grab it. There we go. So it comes in a little envelope. So I did bits of the art direction for this with the artist Lazar. I have no idea how to pronounce his last name, so I'm not gonna try. But Lazar is fantastic to work with, and so this is a set of 3 travel prints inspired by locations from the book. And so we have the Henrietta Caverns for the first one. And
absolutely love that Henrietta Caverns one, and how like, again, there's just like little Easter eggs. Like, you know, it's funny because it's showing up really well on camera that obviously there's like a silhouette shape of a raven within the cave. If you look closely, there's a little sword sticking out. What is that from?
This is the one where you have to like look at it from a distance to get its entirety.
Yeah.
And like I love the effect because for all of them you kind of have to look at them from like sort of different angles, and that I think that's like, super cool. Yeah. And we worked a lot on getting the color scheme right. I think we went through like, I want to say 6 or 7 drafts of like all 3 of them together.
Yeah.
And so like the color scheme for these are like, there was very muted but rich tones. And so after that we have St. Mark's Eve. And so is it showing up? Yeah, it is. So yeah, again, a bunch of detail.
I love Tess came up with this line, and I just think it's so clever, which is it says like the churchyard ruins walkathon. So we kind of designed it to be almost like a poster for a walkathon, because, you know, at the very beginning of the book, it's the St. Mark's Eve, where the spirits walk along the road by the ruined church. So I just thought that was really funny and clever.
You'll see there's actually a little ghost over here. You have to look closely, but I love that little detail so much.
That one was the most challenging of the 3 to get right, to get the colors and the tones and the details showing up. But I think it came out so wonderfully. He was lovely to work with. Lovely
Yeah.
to work with, wasn't he?
We came up with so many different color variations, and the other color variations were absolutely gorgeous. We just wanted like a very specific color scheme to match the book and the rest of the box, which is why we went back and forth. But I would honestly say that like some of the other variations were also like they definitely could also work as prints.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then the last one,
iconic Caves Water. Yes.
And then it says the trees speak Latin at the bottom, and this is the Latin phrase for that up here below Cape's Water.
Yeah, if anyone watching like likes this style of like like faux travel poster, you should definitely check out his work because that's like his specialty. So he does this type of print for like different fandoms and different things, and he just does such a good job, I think.
If you're a gamer and you play BioWare games, so either Mass Effect or Dragon Age, he has officially licensed stuff with them too. So he does a lot of these different posters, and they're all super cool. I actually have one of his Dragon Age ones, which is why nice. I wanted to work with him.
Yeah, that's...
I love all the Easter egg hints that you have to look for in here.
These also look so nice if you have them on your wall. Like I saw one person put them in frames on, I think it was Instagram, and so they had the three of them framed together on the wall, and they looked so gorgeous because they have that matte texture to them too. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they're definitely really, really nice prints or posters.
And I just remembered too, like I think when we very first started planning this box, we had like thrown around the idea of like, oh, do we want to do like a poster, like a rolled up poster, or do we want to do prints? And we settled on doing the 3 prints because we thought that people would like to display them next to each other. And they're a decent size to like get all of the detail and stuff, but they're not so big that if you wanted to display all 3 in frames, it would like take up your whole wall. But yeah, they're purposely designed to like look amazing next to one another for display purposes, if you so choose.
Mm-hmm.
Ludus Lion says the details on all of these items were absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
So much thought put into these items in terms of all the hints and all the book details. If you know, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a very fun project to work on. As someone, this is like my favorite series, so this was like a dream come true. It still doesn't feel 100% real.
Yeah. So the final item, which is the star of the show, is the book Raven Boys.
Yes.
So Karina, tell us what the Raven Boys is about.
Oh my gosh, put me on the spot. It's like a small town story centered around a group of friends and their search for a dead Welsh king in an enchanted forest. And our main character is Blue, and she comes from a family of psychics, but she is not a psychic herself. And she also has a curse surrounding her that the first person she kisses will die. It's one of those books that I find hard to, what am I trying to say?
Put into words.
Hard to talk about because there's so many layers to it. But if you like books that are contemporary, but with like a little bit of magic, a little bit of like ghosty stuff, and you really like character-driven stories, then I would recommend this. My favorite part about it are the characters. I just feel like Maggie Stiefvater did such an incredible job writing them that they actually feel like real people to me. And, I think about them all the time, and it's such a good series. Such a good series.
It has a magical realism cross urban fantasy vibe almost. And it's not urban fantasy in the way that most people think of it. But yeah, it definitely has it has a mishmash of those 2 types of genres and everything that comes with those genres.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very unique for sure.
It is really unique. And like, I've still not really found any other books that give me the same feelings that this series did. There's other books that get close, but it truly does feel like a really special story. Yeah, and the fact that we got to do a special edition of it is just, I feel very lucky. Super cool.
So this is the 10th anniversary edition that we have.
Yes.
And so this exclusive redesigned cover was illustrated by Saint Dree, who is fantastic to work with. And they came up with a bunch of variations for the cover, and we chose this one in the end. The other ones were also super great, but I love this one because look how dynamic all the poses are.
Yeah, so you've got, if you look closely, you have Ronan, Genzi, and Adam on the front cover. I love how Ronan is kind of slouching to the side. You have the Eglinby school crest at the top of the gate. You get a little bit of peek at the school in the background, and then you also have Chainsaw hiding in the corner here. Love Chainsaw. Yeah, there's lots of cool details in this, and very much like the characters really look like how they're described. I like that Ganzi's holding his journal. There's also like a map of Virginia that has fallen out of his journal or bag. And then it's also cool because, let's see if I can take this off. It's like a really cool, neat silhouette that breaks out into ravens against the forest background. And it's kind of like glossy. I just love it. Love, love, love. Yeah.
The back has a quote too.
Yeah. And that's one of my favorite quotes from the series too. Mm-hmm. At night, Henrietta felt like magic, and at night, magic felt like it might be a terrible thing. Ooh.
Cookie.
Yeah, and then if you look like that, forest background is the forest that matches the Cabe's water mug, which I just think is a cool extra detail. Yeah, I love it. Dree worked so hard on this and just did such an awesome job. I love that it's like, it's character art, but it's also like kind of subtle, and it feels like it just matches like the spooky magical vibes of the Raven Boys quite well. I love the little like ley line with book one. I love it. Love it.
Yeah, and then you can flip this over for beautiful illustration that was done by Maggie herself.
Yeah, so there's our boys. It's really cool to me to see, like, this is how the author sees them. And it was really awesome that she illustrated this for us. If you've been around for a while, you know that we love Maggie Stiefvater, and we've had opportunities to do special editions for many of her books. And she has always illustrated our reversible dust jackets. And it's neat because we just like give her free reign to illustrate whatever she wants. And it's always a surprise to us when we receive the final artwork. So we had no idea that she was going to do actual drawings of the boys. And we were pretty excited when we saw that. It's just, I love, like, she draws most of this, I think, with pencil crayons. So talented. As if you're this good of a writer and an artist.
Yeah, multi-talented. And it's like really interesting to see her interpretation of the characters, because I think everyone has different interpretations and like ideas of what the characters may look like, but it's cool to see the author herself show her version.
She's such a fantastic artist. I actually, before I got the Raven Boys, like the book itself, I actually bought her tarot deck back in high school.
Oh, nice.
And like she illustrated the entirety of the 78 cards, and those were also gorgeous. They were done in like a very similar style to this. So yeah,
I love her art. Again, it kind of just feels like a pinch me thing every time that she agrees to do some special art for our editions. I'm like, really? Oh, cool.
Under the dust jacket is this beautiful foil case that was done by Paperback Bones. Also says "This tree speak Latin," which is a very common phrase that you can find throughout some of the other items as well.
And he has a ley line up here. It's very shiny.
There's a funny story behind this design.
Trees.
Yeah, Tess had originally designed this with a pine tree and like many pine trees. And then Maggie informed us that Cabeswater does not have any pine trees. So we had to redo the tree. But we were grateful, you know, we got feedback directly from the source of how it should look. And so we switched it up. It's so pretty.
Mm-hmm.
It's so pretty.
Mm-hmm.
How shiny.
Yeah. And inside are end papers on both sides done by Saintry as well, who did the cover.
Yeah, so we decided it would be fun to do something a little bit different and like focus on interior scenes. So in the front of the book, we have Blue in her bedroom. Oh. Sorry about that. My toddler just ran into the room.
Okay, surprise guests.
That's how you know we're live.
Yep.
Yeah, so Blue's bedroom in the book is described really well, and it's like a very interesting location. And so it was really cool to kind of bring it to life with all these little details. And I just think Dree did such a good job. And then you have Blue kind of sitting in the windowsill in the nice light. And I believe, if I remember correctly, she is looking at the map that she finds within Gansey's journal. Yeah, it's really cool. And then the back end pages is a different view of inside Monmouth, and we have Noah looking smudgy. If you know, you know. Yeah, it was really fun to be able to like feature these two locations. And if we get to do more books in the series, we will have more special locations shown.
That's very requested by everyone who wants more Raven Boys books.
Yes.
Yeah.
And last but not least, our edition also features a bound author letter. So it's in here.
Yeah,
And this
in
is written
Maggie's handwriting.
Mm-hmm. And there's also a fun book club discussion guide. Let's see where it is. There it is. Included over here too.
Yeah, the publisher put that together for us. That was their idea, and I thought it was great. So, you know, if you and your book club have never read The Raven Boys, now you have the perfect opportunity, and they've already brainstormed all the questions for you. Wonderful.
So, fun fact, this book is actually part of BC's school curriculum, I believe, because when I was in, I want to say grade 7, might be grade 7. Yeah, probably grade 7. This was actually one of the classroom reading books, and they had something very similar for this. And I know that kind of makes me feel old, but you know, 10 years, right? So,
that's amazing. As if you got to have an option of such a cool book. My required reading was not that cool.
This just brought back memories because when you like, I guess like Scholastic still does it, but for some of their old books, they used to have these like bound at the back of the books to include in the classrooms. And I think like some of the questions are the same on here because I distinctively remember one of the questions. That
so
just brought back memories.
That's awesome. I had no idea. Our edition is also signed, hand signed by Maggie. I love her signature. It's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Her signature is like one of the clearest I've ever seen.
I think she like purposefully designed it to be legible and unique and identifiable. And it works, doesn't it? Yeah. One of the things that I find funny in this author letter is it says, like she's talking about when she sat down to write the book many, many years ago. And she said that Ronan first was named Sean. And I just find that so funny because I cannot picture that. Like Ronan is Ronan and that name suits him. So yeah, I really like the author letters that we get to include in most of our like special edition books, because it kind of just gives you a little peek behind the scenes, a little taste of like, where the authors got their ideas and what went into it. And I just think it's a cool kind of like peek behind the curtain, so to speak.
It's extra fun when they're bound into the book because you don't run the risk of losing them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something that I think we hope to do more of, as much as possible, really, going forward, is having those bound into the book instead of as separate pieces of paper. So they'll always be there.
Mm-hmm.
Chauncey says, I listened to them and didn't actually have my own copy, so I was very excited when Owlcrate announced it. We're so glad you like your copy. And there are still some Raven Boys boxes that should be available on the shop. And again, you might also be lucky enough to win a box.
Yeah.
In this live.
Yeah. And that person brings up a good point. The audiobooks are also incredible. The narrator does such a good job of voicing all the different characters. And I believe, for all of them, Maggie helped work on the musical score. Ooh. Again, can you be more talented? She's also a musician.
Wow. All rounded.
Right? But I'm not an audiobook person, but I actually have listened to those audiobooks. They're very, very good and atmospheric.
I'm an audiobook person, and I love an atmospheric audiobook, especially with the musical score. It just adds that little bit of like cherry on top.
Yes.
Okay, so we do have some pre-asked questions that you've asked on Instagram and on the Nest, but feel free to drop some live questions if you have anything that's burning in your heart to ask us. But we'll get started on the pre-asked questions. The first one is, how many special editions do you have on the slate this year?
A lot. Short answer, a lot. Long answer, we can't actually share that because there's still a lot of projects that are like in discussion with the publishers that aren't 100% finalized. But I think we can all agree that especially the second half of the year is packed with special things, whether it's, one-off books, book sets, book boxes with goodies. Like, we have a lot coming at you guys. And then I guess we can kind of hint towards this. It's not necessarily a special edition book, but one thing that we launched this year is licensed author collections in our shop. The first one being with Laini Taylor, which we revealed like sneak peek images of all those goodies last week on our social media, and we'll have more public announcements regarding that collection this week, so stay tuned. But that's only the first of a few that we have planned. So more of those will be launching in the first half of the year. And then after that, it's like special edition bonanza, isn't it?
Party galore. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And like, I think once we're allowed to reveal it, I think people will be just as excited, because these are some really cool books that we're going to be doing. Special edition.
We just received one piece of artwork for one of our bigger projects, and let me tell you, like, we showed the entire Owlcrate team, and the feedback, insane. So
insane.
So cool.
So excited.
Artist is so detailed. I mean, detailed, yes, but talented is what I meant to say. Like, it's so awesome to like be able to work with them and see how they bring our ideas to life, for sure.
Yeah, we've got like special editions that are sequels to past Owlcrate books. We've got entire book set special edition coming. We have a few adult special editions coming. There's a lot. So stay tuned, because as soon as we can announce, it's going to be like announcement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we get a lot of questions about very specific books. I know a lot of people are excited about Stephanie Garber's series, because we have done 2 of the first 2 books in the trilogy of Once Upon a Broken Heart and Ballad of Never After. So we do have questions about, are we getting the 3rd one? Where's the 3rd one?
It's still a little too early to like officially share things, but wink.
Yeah. It's always wink, wink, nudge, nudge here.
I don't even know how to wink. I think people will be happy. Let's just say that.
Mm-hmm. So the next question we've received is, it says, new V.E. Schwab book or // please tell me you're doing a special edition of Fragile Threads of Power. So we are all really big fans of V.E. Schwab's writing, obviously. And so this is one thing that we're actively looking into right now, and we're hoping to confirm with the publisher. But nothing is set in stone yet. Yeah. But of course, never say never. There's lots of answers still to come. So we'll let you all know if things happen. But again, we're such big fans, and personally, like, I'm obsessed with the series as a whole. And I know that everybody on the Owlcrate team just really wants to read the book. And, you know,
I think like A Darker Shade of Magic was our first Owlcrate book ever. And I think ever since then, we've done something for every single V.E. Schwab release. So I'm really like, come on, let's not break the streak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like such an anticipated release too, especially with her dropping the new covers and everything. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
We saw the little post about the snippet with Lila and Kel, and then everybody freaked out. So excited.
We were like awake at like 7 a.m. discussing the cover reveal in the Owlcrate Slack channel. Corey was like on vacation, and she's like, I know I shouldn't be working, but this is important. We have to talk. So that just shows you, like, we're very passionate about that series.
Next question, Shannon R. in the Nest asks about the rest of the Raven Boy series. What's up with that?
So at first, we were unsure if we were going to do the remaining books in the series. We kind of wanted to like wait and see how people reacted to like our edition, and but you all reacted very positively, and you've made it known that you would really like Matching Set. So I'm actively working with the publisher to hopefully confirm that. Things are looking positive, but it's taking a little while to like 100% figure out when it's going to be happening with Maggie's schedule and things like that. But I'm very hopeful. It's looking positive, but I can't 100% confirm yet. But I will be fighting for it. So hopefully we can do it. All the artists that we worked with are like on board to work with us again. So that's a really good sign, obviously. So yes, fingers crossed. Yes.
Richard says spill all the tea. That's what we're here for. As much as we can. Maybe like a little drop, but you know. Here's a question for all of us. What is your favorite part of the curating process?
Who wants to go first?
Karina, you go first.
Yeah, I think for me, there's so much about it that I love, but I think one of my favorite parts is like working with the artists and the small businesses that we work with. Because we'll come at them with like an idea, and they like what they put together just blows our minds. Like, not only will they like bring our idea to life, but then they'll usually make it even better than we were imagining. And yeah, so I just like any time when we're collaborating with people. And I also love collaborating with Teresa and Yasmin. It's really fun to be on such a creative team and getting to do a lot of cool things together.
Yeah, and you're like curating from the beginning.
Yeah.
Teresa, what about you?
I love reading the manuscripts, getting the ARCs, and getting to know the authors. And this is like a love-hate relationship for me, but when like all three of us finish an ARC and we have nobody to talk to except for us, it's like a tiny mini book club. We just finished one book for a certain thing where it ends on a cliffhanger, and I finished it first and I was like, you two need to read this because I have nobody to talk to. And then so we finished that specific book and we're all in love. But the cliffhanger is killing us right now. So
Always the cliffhangers.
And it's not even, it's like, you know, we're obviously so privileged that we get to read these books so far in advance of when they're being published. But one downside to that is like, you know, now we have to wait even longer for book 2. I'd like to find out what happens after that cliffhanger.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I also love reading the manuscripts. It is like so fun to be able to get that chance to read the manuscripts early on and get to decide which we choose for our boxes or special editions. And also just seeing the designs come to life, kind of like what Karina said, they the artists really bring our ideas to life, and sometimes in ways that we don't even expect, but like it just works out so beautifully for like what the project is, and it's always really exciting to see.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
How are themes chosen? Is the book chosen first? We get this question a lot, so we do pick our book first because we do need to have the book solidified before we choose a theme. So after we finish reading the book and we've chosen which one we want, that's when we figure out, okay, this is the direction we want to go to, and like what kind of theme name we want and the vibe that we want, aesthetic and everything like that for like the items and packaging and everything like that. That usually comes after we finalize the book. Yeah. Here's a fun one. If you were to have one superpower, what would it be?
I'm gonna say breathing underwater. I am obsessed with the ocean. I have scuba dived once, and it was good, but like remembering how to breathe when you're scuba diving is like a little bit stressful. I'd love to just be able to like swim around and not have to worry about it. Go exploring.
I'd love to have shape-shifting powers so I can mostly talk to animals. I have 2 dogs, and I think about how convenient it would be if we actually like literally spoke the same language. So that.
Cute.
Mine would be either super speed or teleportation. Probably because there's just not enough time in the day. So that would just really help in terms of getting places and getting things done. That would just like really convenient. We did get a question, Karina, of if we're going to get an Advent box this year.
Yeah, so we did an Advent calendar in 2021, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of work to like come up with the concept and all of the gifts and stuff, but it was a really cool experience. And we'd love to do another one. I think it's on our list for this year, hopefully. We've not started brainstorming it yet because we've had a lot of other things that needed to be figured out first. But I think I'm confident to say that we're going to try. You know, we'll have to come up with a new concept. But yeah, I'm up for the challenge if you two are.
Yeah, of course. Another one for all of us. What is your comfort read?
I've been like kind of joking to myself that I feel like I'm in my like Enchanted Forest era because I'm just craving all the books that take place in special forests, whether they're nice forests or not. That's what I'm finding comfort in reading lately.
I have been really into cozy graphic novels. I just love, it's just really easy to get through, and like the imagery and art in the graphic novels are always really pretty, and the cozy ones just like are so warm to read and like so nice to read as like a comfort read for me.
I'd agree with that.
I'm going to take the easy way out and say fan fiction right now.
Yeah.
Simply because there's a lot of new writers and various fandoms that I'm in that have been putting out some amazing stuff, but also like a lot of older fics that have been getting attention. So I've been reading fan fiction, maybe more than I should. And then I've also been reading a lot of poetry because I don't know, there's something just very nice and heartwarming about poetry and like just like the human condition of like experiencing different emotions through connecting with other people. And I feel like poetry is such a good medium for that. So I have been reading a lot of Mary Oliver, who is, I think, getting pretty popular, but she's always been one of my favorites. And I've been reading a lot of like classics, so like Robert Frost and other poets. So yeah.
Nice.
That's awesome.
The next question we have is, can we get a bookish doorstop for an item? So I'm gonna do the eye emoji and say maybe. We always try to make our items as useful as possible so that, you know, you can use them around the house and feel like a bit of like comfort and warmth whenever you see them. So yeah, a doorstop would definitely be useful.
I feel like that's the first time we've received that request, which is cool. Because like every once in a while we'll put out a post or something asking for feedback of what types of items we want to see. I feel like I've never heard that one before, so that could be cool.
That's a pretty unique one.
Yeah.
What's your go-to drink, and does it change with the season or type of novel? This one's also for all of us.
Just coffee in any form, hot, cold, coffee.
What about you, Teresa?
I ice black coffee all year round. I think I tried to cut off my coffee addiction this year. It did not work. And sometimes warm coffee initially will get you kind of sleepy because the warmth hits you. So iced coffee has been my go-to for the past, I want to say like 4 months. And I think I need to cut it down a little bit. But yeah, iced coffee.
It's what happens when you're a grad student. You need that energy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Mine is very specific. Warm seasons, I go for refreshers or iced chai lattes. Cold seasons, also ice, chai lattes, sometimes ice, sometimes hot. All that's from Starbucks because I am unnecessarily addicted to Starbucks.
Their chais are really tasty.
Their chais are amazing. Like first time I tried it, I was like, I'm not going back. That is gonna be my drink now. And just in general, like if I'm just at home, I'll make a chai as well. Like chai is my favorite thing to drink. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Last question that we have. This is specifically for Karina. Question from the Nest. Will there be a possibility to do remote internships at Alcrate in the future? And P.S. I love the new website.
Well, we have done just a couple internships in the past. I think we had maybe like 2 or 3 interns join us last summer. It's not something that happens very often, but who knows? You know, there is definitely a chance that we'll want to do some internships again in the future. And if we do, I'm sure we will post about it. As of now, we don't currently have any positions that we're looking for, but I feel like it could be another summer thing. I don't know. We'd have to ask Sil, our general manager, what she has planned. But yeah, we'll definitely mention it if that happens to occur. And thank you for your comment about the new website. We sneakily launched a new website design yesterday. So if you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. Maybe Jordan can make a post in the Nest or something asking people what they think of it. Because yeah, we've had the same website design since like 2020, I think. So it feels really good to have this like refreshed, magical look. It took many, many months to put together, and it's exciting that it's officially live for people to see. You know, and the goal is that we will keep updating it much more regularly now. So yeah, I'm curious to hear what everybody else thinks about it too. But thank you for saying that you like it. That's really exciting for us.
Yeah, the design is awesome, and it's just very user-friendly. And everything is just laid out really beautifully. So go ahead, after this live, explore the website, go wild. It's really fun to look through. Yeah. So that's all the questions that we have. I wanted to remind people that you can sign up to the newsletter, and you can rewatch events on the lives tab, the live stream tab. You can also sign up to subscribe and purchase. Again, go through the new website, have fun, see all the things that we have available, and keep track of our social media, our TikToks, Instagram. A little note about future possible jobs or internships. That's how I got mine, is through social media. So if you yeah, so we do post about it on social media if there is anything available. So I would keep an eye out for that as well.
For sure. And giveaway winners will be contacted by our awesome social media team. So watch our Insta stories for that announcement. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for joining us, everyone. This has been very fun.
Yeah, and thank you to everybody who ordered the Raven Boys box. It was so much fun to work on, and I hope you enjoyed kind of hearing about how those items came to be. And thanks for letting me be a part of your Coffee with Curators, you two. It was a lot of fun.
It's fun to have you.
For sure.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye, everybody.